Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this. It's pretty fuzzy. It could trace, but they asked if I could help them draw it. And I just happened to recognize that font and I double checked. So I'm using all capital letters, or trying to. And if we look, and I just looked and it's Cooper Black, or it looks very similar. So I'm not worried about the size of it. I'm actually gonna move this out of the way and I'm gonna draw a circle. I want that shape, and the way I've always found to draw that shape is to draw an ellipse and Control D and make a duplicate, and then start moving and hold down the control button. And there's that shape. I've used that shape for years on different things. Let's make it blue. The color does not matter, but there's that shape. It's pretty close, and let's rotate it 90 degrees. And let's get rid of this. And let's left click, right click. Now, if we notice that they've got the ends of the football, the spiral painted ends, I'm going to go in and do that, but I'm going to make mine maybe a little bit more realistic, and he can adjust that whatever he wants to. Tell you what, let's use the rectangle tool and make a rectangle. Make it about like right there. And if we do it symmetrically, we can figure out how far we want to move it, and we can go, let's move it 1 inch. That I think will be perfect. And the reason I nudged it is that way I can do the other side exactly equal. And that's going to give us a good writing surface inside. Now, to make that little dash, there's hundreds of ways you could do that, but I'm just going to make it elongated dash. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees, and I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to put the plus key on the keyboard, start moving, and hold down and then that way, well, it should snap right to it. I guess because I'm not on the center, it's not going to snap. There we go. Nope. Yeah, that's equal. We could always take these two and hit T. Yep, I moved them a little bit. So then we've got our writing surface, but we're going to go in and just change this a little bit. We're going to get rid of these lines, because then I'm going to smart fill this shape, and that's going to be our writing surface. I'm going to delete that because I'm going to change my nudge factor to like 5 inches. I'm going to smart fill that, and I'm going to put it out of the way for a second. I am going to left click, right click, and I'm going to do a little bit different because I really looked at this and the words are kind of touching the outline. And I've done this for a long time. The way I do it, go to contour. I'm going to contour the inside just like, let's say 0.1. That'll be good. We don't have to break the contour apart because I'm just going to fill in the new contour shape. Then I'm going to left click, right click, and I'm going to take the word football. It looks awful kind of big, and it might not be exactly what he wanted, but he could make these lines closer to the ends if he wants to. We're going to go to Effects and Envelope. Cooper Black really does a good job with the envelope tool. That looks pretty good. Now, to get everything in the exact right thing, I'm going to shift select our box, and I'm going to go CE. By doing that, now I can nudge that out of the way, and I can nudge my football word up and over, and it is exactly in the middle of the football, or actually exactly where I want it. Now, I'm going to use a little bit different color for the pigskin. Let's say brown, and he can change that if he likes. While we have these lines, I'm going to, well, one thing, we could do a couple of things, but let's do this and this, and no, Yeah, that's where the stripe's going to go. Nope. Yeah, because that'll make a white stripe. Now, instead of filling this in and having to fill in all the things between the words, we can take our wordage. Well, it's sometimes it's hard to grab some. There we go. Now I can take that same color and put it there, and go ahead and go object, order, back of page. Now what I can do is take away all the lines, and because you'd really want to get rid of the lineage on all this stuff. And it all depends on whether you want, so that needs to be brown. There we go. Now I've got lines there. What we can do is take the outline of the ball and move it out of the way. Take all this and weld it. And by doing that, it got rid of all the colors. Now, it just depends on whether you want the outline or not. You could take the outline, nudge it up there, and while it's still selected, you could make it a little bit thicker than a hairline or whatever, and you could make it that brown. You know, you could, instead of having black, we could pick that same brown by right-clicking. So now the lines are brown. Well, no, it's not. Wonder why that's not working. There we go. Probably make it a little bit thicker. That looks pretty good. And see, I like it because the word football is off the ball. This is fine. I actually like the wordage there, so maybe that's why whoever drew this had it to the end. But this is more realistic, and he can play with that and move this stuff out. You know, he doesn't have to be perfect. The only other thing I would do if I was going to make a real football, I would maybe round off these ends just a little bit instead of having such a sharp point. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.